This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D Show. Live from the IT in the D studios above Activate Gaming in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. It's the IT in the D Show.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
This is Max Headroom, and what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
15,395 days since they won the cup for the Toronto.
It's I Love the 90, and this is 1997.
What's a Nubian?
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, this is John Schneider from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland, Secret Life of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D Show.
If I show up at your door, chances are you did something to bring me there.
Chasing Amy.
What? What did you say?
You're chasing Amy. Are you ready to go back to Titanic?
It's my pleasure to present the Stanley Cup to Steve Yzerman.
Dig you IT geeks. This is Dre DeMatteo from Sons of Anarchy. You are listening to IT in the D.
What happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bunghole?
Exactly.
Come on. Someone tries. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the show.
Hi, this is Ralph Macchio, and you're listening to IT in the D Show. Wax on, you know what.
Behind me, you can see the tree that the limo hit tonight.
Pointed contrast from the victory we were celebrating just 6 nights ago.
10 years, man! 10 years! 10 years! 10 years! 10 years!
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT in the D Show. No mercy.
In all, 21 women and 18 men apparently took their own lives. Officials say the group called itself Heaven's Gate.
Oh my God! They killed Kenny! You bastards!
NYPD means I will knock your punk ass down.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, John Kreese from the Karate Kid movie, and you're listening to IT in the D.
I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
The Press Association in Britain has reported that Diana, Princess of Wales, has died.
Get off my plane.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Pump Pump. IT in the D Show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
The world has lost Princess Diana at age 36.
Michelle, what are you up to?
I invented Post-its.
You're in your underwear, I'm in my underwear. Here, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey, I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
This definitely rates about a 9.0 on my weird shit-o-meter.
Everybody's been real nice.
Well, that's because you have big jugs.
Jack, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls. Wearing this. Wearing only this.
We got screwed at the same time. Yeah.
You know, I was raised Catholic, for God's sakes.
Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't taste. Taste, don't swallow.
What do you think of Roller Girl? She's great. She's really foxy.
I shagged her rotten, baby. Yeah.
It's just too big. It's way too big.
We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
And the truth shall set you free.
This is Robert Hayes, a Ted Stryker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D Show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat stick.
Turn your microphone off. Just get out.
You like apples?
Yeah.
Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
You're a tracer.
Last year, I spent more money on spilt liquor than you made. Woo!
Hey folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT in the D Show. Tough guy. Ho!
She was a girl. I know that now. So I spent every day since then chasing Amy.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Sir, had you better buckle up? Now buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
Welcome back. Thank you for listening. This is the June 22nd edition of the IT and the D Show, episode 97, the Bob and Bo anniversary show. It's my anniversary today, and my wife's actually in the studio. Can you believe it? We are sitting here above Activate Gaming in the Trinet corporate offices in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan.
You can't hear it because you're not listening, but behind in the stream, I'm now playing the Flintstones doing Happy Anniversary. Happy Anniversary.
Find us online, itandthed.com. Give us a like on the Facebooks /itandthed. Follow us on Twitter /itandthed. And if you want an easy way to listen to the show, open up your Google Play, and we have an app that has it's a giant play button. I don't think anything else. It's about is user dummy. It's like the old people phone,
it's
like
again,
the infomercial.
So easy a Bob can do it.
Exactly, so easy. But it's going to be the theme from this show. We've got an awesome jam-packed lineup. We have Mike Brennan from mytechnews.com and Matt Roush from the Engineering Society of Detroit coming in segment 2.
Wait, your Tech News?
MI, Michigan.
Oh, gotcha.
Not my own Tech News.
Okay,
no.
I was just checking.
Well, he does it for me, so it might be mine.
Well, okay.
Right, but it's MI Tech News. And then we got Sola Obian from Social Media Association of Michigan, repeat offender, talking about Social Media Day Detroit coming up this Friday.
Whoa. Yeah.
So, yeah. I had fun this weekend. You know what I was doing?
Nothing.
We are a jumbled mess, me and you, Dave. We have Google Docs, we have
Dropbox.
The day doesn't go by where you have 17 or 18 different things. So I got introduced actually to Igloo. It's actually an internet that doesn't suck. It sucks less.
Okay.
Is that amazing? It integrates with everything we use, right? So whether or not we're using Salesforce, Google Drive, SharePoint, all of your existing IT stuff, it gets dumped into one internet that we can customize. Just like my website on
Sounds like a giant gaping security hole waiting to happen, but I'll listen.
Absolutely not. How do you like 256-bit encryption? Nice segue for you.
Okay.
So you got 256-bit encryption, single sign-on, Active Directory integration, Tier 3 data centers, private clouds, none of that hybrid crap.
Oh.
And it sounds like what we've been looking for and we could never find.
It kind of does because we've been whining about that for a while.
One gigantic content management system for
our crap.
Awesome.
File sharing, calendars, social news feeds, task management. It's all there. You know what? And if you want to try it, just head out to Igloo Software, IGLLO software.com/Detroit, and you get a free trial. It's as simple as that.
Now, I feel like I have to ask: Are you sure it's /Detroit this time?
/Detroit.
Okay, I wanted to be safe.
Igloo Software.
Coupon code?
No coupon code.
There's still no Q in that word.
It's Igloo Software.
I say coupon.
It is not coupon. But yeah, igloosoftware.com/Detroit and give it a try. We absolutely love it, and I hope you will too.
Awesome. Sweet. So speaking of weekends, so yesterday was Father's Day, and somehow, like I had posted this on Facebook, somehow between Saturday night and Sunday, it went from, Dad, you should do whatever you want to do for Father's Day. Like if you just want to hang out, you should do that. And then at like 11 in the morning, they were jumping on me on the couch, announcing that we were going to go see Inside Out.
Oh, you had to see that pile of crap too?
That was a pile of crap. Dude, I love that movie.
It was Herman's Head.
Well, it was. How did you not like that movie?
I didn't want a remake of Herman's Head in cartoon form. Thank you.
But like good Disney movies do now.
Why does everybody have to die?
It had a whole nice layer. It had a whole nice layer of adult humor that the kids aren't going to get, but I died. Like the whole like snapshot inside of Mom and Dad's head.
Yeah, that was about an hour into it. I finally laughed.
Oh yeah, and then the dog and the cat. It was outstanding. And more to the point, like I think it's a good teaching experience for kids that, you know, sometimes it's okay to be sad, and they're like, there's that whole happy, sad.
Yeah, Herman's Head taught me that too.
Okay, well, our kids don't have Herman's Head, Bob.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Show it to them. My kids watch Full House. It's not like they're anti, you know. But why do they have to tear jerk and make everybody cry every time? Every Pixar movie, someone has to die, and I don't like it.
Well, that's because that's how that goes.
I know.
It's been like
spoiler alert.
Since the beginning of time, like since Lassie, someone was going to die.
Well,
Land Before Die. Yeah. Oh yeah, Bambi, Land Before Time.
I'm still traumatized.
Yeah, exactly. Bambi, shiny, happy movie. First 5 seconds, Mom gets it. Thanks.
Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
Mom bites it, and your 600 brothers and sisters
all get devoured by Jaws. Right. Welcome to the movie, kids.
But then we all learn a very valid lesson about life and being strong. And
well, Guardians of the Galaxy, for the love of God. I was all excited to sit down and watch Guardians Guardians of the Galaxy with my kid John. He's 5 years old. And opening of the movie, mom's dying of cancer. Thanks, everybody, for letting me know that's how that started. Because, yeah, that was really how I wanted.
And then Groot gets the chainsaw. It's
right.
terrible.
I'm okay with that.
No, he can grow back. He can't grow people back.
Not yet.
You know what? You know what? I did have an exciting weekend. You know why? I got the phone call. Do you know the phone call? Hello, this is Betty from the service center. I'm going to spare everyone my really bad Pakistani accent. So I get a phone call, and it's from all zeros. And I don't know why I decided I'm going to answer it, but I answered, and it goes, hello, this is Steve from the service center. And I go, and I knew exactly what it was. And I go, hi, Steve. And he goes,
thank God you've called.
I know, thank you for calling. What can I do for you? He goes, we're finding lots of errors coming from your computer. And I go, my computer has errors?
I have a virus?
What should I do? And he's like, are you in front of your computer? And I go, hold on a minute, hold on. And I went like, okay, hold on, let me boot it up. It's a little slow. And I go, okay, I'm ready. What do you want me to do? And he goes, can you see your control panel? I go, where do you find that? He goes, start and then control panel. I go, okay, it's open. He goes, no, wait, go to Google. And I don't remember if it was Find My PC or not.
Yeah.
I go, you mean open my browser, like the Internet Explorer? Of course, I'm not going to say use Chrome. He's going to know better. Well, like, open up my Internet Explorer, and I go, I think it was findmypc.com, right?
Wait, does it matter that I'm running Linux?
Yeah, exactly. Which PC? The Ubuntu one? So he's like...
Goodbye, sir. Yes.
He goes, type that into your screen. Okay, I did. Now, read me what it says. And I go, okay, it's 3 giant words. Are you ready? He goes, uh-huh. And I go, go... F boop yourself. And he's like, it says that to you? I go, no, to you. And then we had like another 4-minute conversation on who the computer was talking to.
I love that you actually had the phone call version of the spammer email Nigerian hack thing that was going around a few years ago.
I was so excited when I hung up the phone call. That was right before our Thursday meeting at the Blackfin. That's right. I walked in, I got the phone call. I'm so happy.
I wonder what their tolerance for pain is. Like, how long can you string them along? Like, I can't find my browser icon. Oh, I'm sorry, my start menu's on the right-hand side, not the left-hand side.
Right.
How long until they're like, okay, I'm done.
My
Sorry.
screen just turned sideways. What did you do?
This is not worth it.
Or a hand phone to 5-year-old.
Right.
Hey, it's Santa Claus. Go to town.
I think we should all coordinatedly do that. Like, try to string them along for 20 to 30 minutes.
And everyone's like, did you tape it? I would go, I don't know how to tape calls. Like, there's a button. I don't know. I was just so happy to get the call. I'm not going to fumble around, But what could their we talk about conversion rates now because we're in the advertising world. What could be the conversion rate? They can't get 1 in 100. There's no way.
I was going to say they need less than. It's like spam. They need less than 1% to convert.
And what's their
to make
game?
it worthwhile?
Is there
I didn't know their end game was either. What is it?
It turns your computer into a bot.
Oh, okay, botnets. Totally.
Yeah,
or like
it's not ransomware.
Crypto
it
locker.
Could be.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. You talk to this guy, he fixes your computer. Give me $500, I'll unfix it for you. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
I have encrypted all of your files.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, touching on that, we did have our event at Blackfin last Thursday night. Really good turnout. Very, very
light.
happy.
It was good, though.
Yeah. And
like I tell people, I'd rather have that crowd, all IT, than 300 people with color-coded name badges that you had to pay $20 cover for, and then 90 of them are insurance salespeople.
Yeah, no,
so
let's Amway. Interesting.
Right.
Are you making enough money at your job? You're a sales guy? Oh my God, that was hell. My first 5 years of my career. You're good at sales. You'd love to do this.
I've got a juice for you that your friends and family are going to love.
No, it's not Amway. It's Quickstar.
Right.
No.
We've changed names to serve you better.
So,
well, and then we've got our event coming up not this Wednesday, next Wednesday,
July
1st. We're going to try a new venue, new not just to us, but to the entire area.
It's an old venue.
Well, it's a new place inside of an old place. So it's the Whiskey Parlor that is.
So it's like Soldier
up.
Field. It's like they dropped the stadium inside the old stadium. That's a new stadium. Chicago.
Stop
never
talking.
mind. You know what I'm talking about.
100 guys in Chicago right now are like, yeah, Rob.
You have people listening in Chicago.
It's 100. Yeah, the Bears. They're all happy with you.
Right. Yeah. Coach Ditka.
No, so it's the Whiskey Parlor that is opening up on the second floor of Grand Trunk. Grand Trunk's a great place. It's actually a guy that I've known for a while that's opening up that's running the Whiskey Parlor in there. So it's a whiskey bar, and we'll be there, and we'll see what happens.
Drinking whiskey.
what can possibly go
Talking
wrong.
about whiskey.
And properties of whiskey.
Yeah. Look forward to that. So, this is, cat's out of the bag. I think we tell everyone that we ever meet that we never listened to a podcast before we started this podcast.
True.
And we started doing a podcast, and now pretty much it's engulfed our entire beings. And the podcast world just had their Super Bowl.
They did.
I read this whole story. So Mark Maron, the host of WTF, actually had the president of the United States of America on his podcast in his one-bedroom apartment. In his garage. In his garage. Yeah. In his garage. So, I read the whole backstory to this, and his people actually called, and he thought it was a joke in the beginning. And, I don't know if it was the modern day fireside chats or if it was a new 23-year-old that says, we got to get the prez on a podcast. But he sat down and had an interview list, candid BS conversation like we had here, and how stinking if you weren't in the podcast community or knew nothing about it, that's the Super Bowl right there. It pretty much hit the pinnacle of where this industry and everyone say just e-commerce is a fad. Remember those arguments we used to have with Tad? The internet's garbage. No one's going to buy stuff online. As I'm buying toilet paper now from Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. In giant crates that arrive at your front door
with free shipping. Yeah,
right. Exactly. No, you know how I got the free shipping thing started and the Prime thing? We had to buy a bunk bed when my wife was pregnant with her, and I said, there's no way I'm lugging that crap from IKEA. So I bought Prime. I did the measurements. That thing showed up in 2 days. I paid my buddy to take it upstairs and to put it together, and it was the greatest money I ever spent in my life to buy Prime and to have him take it upstairs. I had pride in delegation. No, but so where do you think what could so podcasting, everyone knows about it now. It has to be in the forefront of everyone's mind. Where's it going?
Has it been super legitimized now? It's if the president's on it, it's got to be legit, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Man, does that mean we have to stop doing it now?
Podcast hipsters.
We're hipsters.
I wonder if that would work. It'd be
you're not wearing a fedora. It's fine.
Right.
Right, yeah, you're okay.
Did it before it was cool.
Mr. President Obama, longtime fan. If you wanted to come on the show, I'm sure we could all put aside our politics.
Right.
Have a really good time. And
oh yeah.
Well, if you happen to be in the Detroit area, we've got beer, we've got booze. Right. We'll make sure and we won't tell anybody if you smoke.
Just open the window if you do.
Right. I wonder if the Secret Service clearance is I'm gonna have to check your garage, sir. Just don't look in that drawer. That's where my pot is hidden.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I guess the neighbor was elated because I guess he's a pretty quiet guy, but he follows everything. He knows, and they had 3 snipers on his roof, and he was giddy like a 12-year-old kid, seeing boobies for the first time. He's there's snipers on my roof, and he's the 6-year-old man. It was that was his joy of his life. He's so elated. These guys had to come through his house to put up snipers. And I'm that's how crazy that is. That though, you as a human being, you can't go anywhere without an armament of snipers everywhere.
That's when you've arrived as a person, when you have a cavalcade of snipers following you.
Amongst who else does?
But if you think about it, that's one that's okay. Take a look at a president when they're entering office, and then take a look at them as they're leaving office.
We call that 50 Shades of Grayer.
Right, and look what that does to them over and over and over again.
Bill Clinton's presidency, 50 Shades of Grayer. But anyway.
So 50 Shades of Blue, I think it was, yeah.
Oh.
But I'm just curious because Squarespace bought the whole show, and I'm that had to have cost a pretty penny.
I would think so.
Oh my
I
God!
would have loved to have brokered that deal.
Yeah,
mid-roll. Had 650 episodes? Was this his 654th? Is that what I read?
Does he do every day?
He's been around a long time.
Well, since the beginning, I remember remember when podcasting, what was the guy with the lion mane hair from MTV? He was a VJ, Adam Curry. And he's the one that kind of pioneered podcasting. Crap, this was 04 maybe? Mm-hmm. You remember, Matt? I don't remember the exact year. But it was podcast, that's goofy. And he pioneered the whole entire platform of this genre.
Why would you listen to this when you can listen to the radio? Hey.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I
You're crazy kids.
I was talking to someone the other day, and I used to be a huge Sirius fan. You remember those days? And I'm why would I use Sirius? I have, either I do Audible or I do podcasting from my phone, Bluetooth to my speakers on my car trips. I don't need Sirius anymore. I can pull Spotify and Pandora from my phone, Bluetooth to the car. Pretty much
Okay, 2 words, Upper Peninsula. I'm telling you, if you're going up there where there's no cell phone signal, then you run into trouble. But,
you can't, no, you can still hit, good point.
Then download them.
Right.
Well, download them, store them.
Then you have to plan. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're not good at that.
I had to think about it. I'm the satellite's working. Oh, wait, we said no more satellites. Never
mind. Right. So we did have I'm not going to lie, the one that made me laugh really, really hard, and this is just a good lesson for companies out there that go out and buy domains for marketing campaigns, whatever you think you're doing, and you think you're being fun and cutesy and doing a little one-off from your main domain and your main URL. You might want to hold on to them for as long as there are promotional materials out there referencing them. Like, for example, Heinz Ketchup, who had bottles with QR codes, and we'll talk about the suck of QR codes in a moment. But so they had QR codes on the bottles that took you to a URL for a special marketing campaign they were doing. Unfortunately, they let the domain lapse, and so it went to porn.
Bad porn, not like medium porn.
Not
like ooh,
yeah,
no,
not like late night Skinamax porn. Like whoa, wait, whoa,
like like
where's the brain bleach?
Ketchup bottles, right?
Yeah, something from Germany, in other words.
Right.
Okay.
Something that you got to send your friends. Going, oh my God, you got to see this porn.
People
People
this
do
ketchup
this.
bottle.
So they've since apologized for their mishap. But stop. There's no point where I'm buying ketchup where I got to open up my phone and put on the scanner app and look at the QR code and going, ooh, coupons. Like, no. Who done that? Would it necessitate having, like, I read in I read in Court magazine that she thinks QR code's the next big thing. Right. Hashtag ninja.
So we got a lot of smart people in the room. When was the last time any
Speak
of
for
you guys
yourself.
scanned a QR code?
When Google Goggles first came out, and like I was like with my older family, like, ooh, I can do the Jägermeister bottle, and like you can shop for the. So why don't you just go to the store? Why you have to scan it? I'm like, I know, I never like people put QR codes on. Who had a QR code in their business card at the event?
There's been a couple, and we've mocked them into submission.
Oh my
and
God!
They don't bring them anymore. My favorite are
like a recruiter's going to pull out their phone.
I like.
Oh, you don't
stop that.
You stop.
You still have a website that's using ASP.
.NET 1.1 classic.
I love the QR codes like on billboards. Those are outstanding.
Back of semis.
Or on the back of semis.
I've seen those all
are
the time.
Outstanding uses of QR codes.
Because I'm going to hold up to my window driving, and then I'm going to read the stupid webpage it takes you to. Oh my God! You know what the QR code should be in the back of a semi? Like it powers down your phone. Like if you could figure that out,
quit effing using your phone and drive it in the car.
Right.
Exactly.
Or take you directly to the bruh button, one or the other.
Yeah, exactly. It automatically dials 911 to report you for distracted driving is what it does when you hit that QR code.
Nice.
So, hey, we did not hit. So it worked last week, and I thought it was funny.
Power?
And so yeah, exactly. Well, on Tuesday, yes. But no, so Matt Lewinsky gave us the 3 lessons learned.
Oh boy,
from episode 95 last week, and this week he did once again. He gave us the 3 lessons learned, or the 3 things that he learned from episode 96. One is that he's had it with these hackers on these planes,
quote unquote hackers.
Yes. Bob and Dave need to invest in $5 in a tie stud, and this was actually more you talking about destroying your ties, because it saves the soup, the salad dressing, or gravy, and more importantly,
we had a dry cleaning
tie.
service, like the Uber of dry cleaning, and I said, I don't have a clean tie in my entire house. I went to a wedding without no tie because they're all messy. Because so he's like, well, buy a damn tie bib. I'm like, no, I'm not buying a tie bib, but I'm just not going to wear a tie.
And then the third and most important thing he learned is that if he's dying of a serious, like deadly disease, he wants Godwin, one of our guests last week, to tell him he's got that whole soothing voice thing going on. So apparently Godwin is right up there with I'm totally blanking.
Every little thing gonna be all right.
Right. He absolutely does.
Like thank you, Godwin.
He's got like a softer Morgan Freeman thing going on.
All right, so when you die on your deathbed, you will have Godwin speaking to you. So I got that going for me,
Gunga.
Which is nice. You know what I have a bad habit of doing? I'm such a dick. For some reason, I hit like on the Dalai Lama page, and everyone, it's like, oh, I love the Dalai Lama, God bless, and this and that. And of course, I'm like, big hitter, the Lama, long, flowing robes, striking, bald, big hitter. And I'm like, I always, like, every day I have to, like, take time out of my day to, like,
to troll.
To put a little line. So, like, every once in a while, someone will catch it and they'll add to it, like, this 10,000-foot ravine at the base of this glacier. You know what he said to me? Gunga Lagunga.
Lagunga, nice.
So anyway, sorry, Dalai Lama. I don't mean to troll your page.
Thanks for listening.
Exactly.
So a good cautionary tale that came out of London, Ontario, and this is something we've talked about off and on.
Canada?
Yes, that's where London, Ontario is.
Just checking.
Canada. Yeah. So, kid has his loses cell phone in cab, or leaves cell phone in cab. Decides to turn on the "Where's My Phone" app. Finds phone in parking lot, not that far away from his house. Walks up to car. There are 3 men in car. He tries to open door. He gets shot dead on the spot. So yeah, it's awesome, amazing technology that you can hunt down your phone and you can find it, and that's cool. But kind of be smart when you're walking into situations like that. I mean, I guess that's.
Well, I'm glad you didn't shoot me when I went to get my phone out of your luggage.
I offered you food, which was almost bad because that almost killed you. Offering
I wasn't
you food.
moving. I was still sweating.
But yes, I mean, a good cautionary tale. Use common sense when you're
Call
doing
the
stuff like
cops.
that. And that's what the police said. Like, if you ever have a situation like that, call us. We'll meet you. Especially in Canada, they're so damn polite. How does that even happen?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, your phone got stolen. Sorry.
Yeah. So that not the best story coming on.
There's 2 people having a really, really bad week this week.
Shoot.
AT&T.
Not having.
They just changed. They were made an example of. They just changed the whole face of what this industry.
They got slapped
hard. They were now. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were throttling unlimited bandwidth users.
Yep.
And they got caught with their pants around their ankles and got $100 million fine.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Oh,
I feel like this entire.
No, it doesn't, because my bill's going to go up $20 a month.
I feel like the entire industry has basically based their business model on shorting people on bandwidth. Right? They're like, yeah, we've got 100 megs, and we're going to provide it to 10 people because they're not going to use 100 megs of it all the time, right? So now, basically, with heavy,
now we are,
right? now we're watching Netflix all the time, and we're using voice over IP, and we're podcasting,
right?
We expect to have the stuff we pay for. So I think
watch your bill. Everyone's going to get a little $20. We're all paying for it.
Do you think net neutrality will do that? Is cause everyone's bill to go up, or do you think?
Well, yeah, because they'll have to upgrade the infrastructure to actually honor their claims.
Matt, do you remember back in the day when BigNet got fined? This is like 98-ish,
yes.
And they owed some money, and then everyone got no one knew what DSL was, and everyone's bill had a $10 DSL tax line, which in turn gave them about $1 million went to their bottom, so they could pay off all this other crap. And like 3 people were like, "Wait, tax?" And they got their hands slapped, and that's why the BigNet doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
you know who's having a worse week?
Who?
Little Orphan Annie.
Oh,
little Anakin
happened?
Skywalker.
Oh, Jake Lloyd.
Mannequin Skywalker.
Jake, you silly, stupid
People
bastard.
kept following him down the street going, "Annie, are you okay? Are you okay,
Annie? Annie, are you okay?"
I think he
Yeah.
snapped. I think he snapped finally.
Oh, well, and if you saw the mugshot, so first off, the kid gets busted. For
I don't think he's a kid anymore.
Well, no, he's not. He still looks like he's like a grown-up putting dirt on his face to have a mustache and a goatee. But yeah, so apparently he thought he was pod racing because he was driving without a license, under the influence, speeding, driving recklessly
through the desert.
And had to get chased down and stopped by cops. And that's.
Was he throwing wrenches back at them and like try to clog up their rockets?
Yelling, "Sebulba, stay the hell away from me!"
Screw you for remembering that. Were the cops driving with their feet?
There was a 4-foot flying lizard chasing him. Yeah,
right.
Okay, gotcha.
So was he in jail now? What is he doing?
Yes, he was booked and held because, well, like most child actors, he doesn't really have a stash of cash laying around anywhere.
What was the other turd movie that he did there? Like also he's known for in something after or like some dumb Christmas movie with.
It was the Schwarzenegger, Jingle All the Way. Yeah,
and he appeared in that too. We're like, wow, great career there, Jakey, and little Orphan Annie.
And you're done.
Yeah,
Thanks.
exactly.
So, and there is one more group that had a bad weekend, and it was unfortunate for them. It was the people that paid attention and thought that the posting about the job fair for GM at a church in Flint was real.
Who does that?
So hundreds and hundreds of people descended upon this church in Flint looking to get jobs with GM, and needless to say, there was no job fair. There was nobody knew who originated the post. Nobody knew, like, the original had gotten yanked, and nobody knew where they found it.
There wasn't a big booth with Primerica guys standing there going, how would you like to make $300,000 next year?
Or Cutco.
Well, and honestly, what would it have taken somebody, to get somebody
What the
from
hell's
GM?
Cutco?
It's a knife company. It's level marketing.
Oh, vector marketing.
Yes,
exactly. Yeah, we know
half
somebody's
of my son's
kid.
high school friends got sucked into that Cutco. I actually sat through yes, I'm going to pay $600 for 3 knives.
Yeah, we got a
I know
buddy's
they're really
kid that's
good,
in the middle of that
But it can
nonsense
cut
right
through
now.
a penny.
Yes.
Well, and honestly, like, how hard
I
I
need to
cut
do that
pennies
so
all the
often,
time. Right.
How hard would it have been for GM to actually send somebody out to do what they do at every job fair, which is, here's our card, apply online.
Right.
Here's our card, apply online.
Are you hiring? No,
Here's
I'm
our-
not hiring. Here's our
Not
card.
me. Here's our cards, apply
I
online.
saw 2 stories out of this, that the cars were parked around the block,
Yep.
around this church. And then the second story was that there was a guy who came who could not walk. So we had someone bring him to the event, only to find out there were no jobs. So whoever you are an asshole who did this.
Unadulterated. We're gonna send you butthole chocolates if we ever find out who you are.
And fart in a jar.
Fart in a jar. Everything we've ever talked about, bag of dicks, you're getting all of them. The big
dick trophy.
Dick trophy. The toilet paper box is gonna show up, and it's gonna be all of that. And a lifetime supply of sugar-free Haribo gummy bears. And enjoy the flatulence. We're coming up against a break. Speaking of flatulence, we're going to have Mike Brendan and Matt Roush here. This is the IT and the D Show. We'll be right back.
Live from the IT in the D studios above Activate Gaming in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. It's the IT in the D Show.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT in the D Show.
If you're a reseller of IT solutions, the original equipment manufacturer should not be your strongest competitor. At Quantum, we understand the true meaning of partnership. We work with our channel to deliver industry-leading solutions together, all the time, not just when it's convenient for us. Heck, we don't even have a direct sales force. Quantum is looking for a few good partners. Call 586-745-4DXI to get started. That's 586-745-4394.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D Show.
All right, and welcome back. Segment 2, episode 97. This is the IT and the D Show, often imitated, never duplicated. We're hanging out above Activate Gaming in the TriNet corporate offices in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy, hanging out with Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. Find us out online, itandthed.com. Give us a like on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Download our app on Google Play.
Nice. Matt just hit us with a message on Facebook that says, hey, the song choices have nothing to do with Diddy getting arrested at UCLA. We were just talking about
2
that
seconds ago.
Not only that, we were just talking about how Sting still makes almost $1 million in royalties from that song, and P. Diddy gets nothing. That's why you got to do your paperwork and cross your T's.
Right.
Speaking of paperwork, this segment is brought to you by a company called. I started doing some digging on them. They're a phenomenal company. Uber kind of changed the way taxis were doing it. They completely turned this whole town upside down. I think relay rides is almost I don't want to say it's a better idea, but it's a freaking awesome idea. So
basically lets you turn yourself into Uber to some degree.
So just like cloud computing, it was basically you get to rent what you don't use.
Yeah.
So if your car is sitting, you got a car sitting in your garage, you can rent the thing out, and you can see what all the cars are published pricing. And so basically, you can take your car that's sitting around and rent it to anyone.
I'm not gonna lie. I took a look at the local inventory.
A lot of old cars.
A lot of beaters.
Yeah. Well, no, because I could see the point. You're going to go to an auction, buy a beater, and then use it as a
right.
So here's the thing. I mean, you can rent out. Some guys are earning $1,000 a month. Some owners can earn as much as $6,000 a month. I mean, I did some math, and
Not sucky.
No, I mean, renting out my car for 7 days a month, I could pay my note.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely.
What you should do then is rent a big old truck and just rent it out for IKEA runs. I can see the
my God,
the entire IKEA parking lot will be full of.
Oh, it's like, what is it, $20 an hour to rent the Home Depot truck when you're there and you got to haul something away? Yeah.
So they actually provide the insurance, $1 million of insurance coverage, so don't worry about that. No out-of-pocket expenses. You give them a car full of gas, they give you a car full back of gas. It's a huge community right now. Sign up at relayrrides.com/IT. If you just special offer for our listeners, you get an extra $100 when you sign up today. It's relay, RELAY, rides with an S, RIDES.com/IT, and start making some cash.
We really need to get them to standardize the slashes.
Yeah, I know.
The subdirectories. We have to get, because, But okay, /IT.
Igloo is /Detroit. Relay Rides is /IT.
Right.
So I'm thinking about that. Like, I work from home, right? So I'm not using my car. I just did a quick calculation. My car's worth about $20,000 now, market value. If I do it 10 days a month, it says I can earn an additional $5,000 a year. Dude, that's brilliant. It's sitting in my driveway collecting dust.
That's your note.
That's crazy.
Yeah. For what? And it's going to sit there anyway.
Yeah.
So someone else farts in your seat, so what?
Well, I fart in my seat plenty, so
right.
Whatever.
That's not my flavor. Whatever.
It's a whole like sharing economy, right?
Totally.
How many things do we own that we don't actually use on a consistent basis? Lawnmowers, for example, right? Everyone has one. Everyone uses it. What? How many days out of the year? A third.
Right now.
So that we were talking about what not too long ago, maybe 8-10 years ago in your home, you had a massive piece of furniture for CDs and DVDs, like an entire wall. You don't own anything anymore. Like, why buy a DVD when I can get it on Netflix or I can get it on pay-per-view? Like music, Spotify. Why am I buying a CD? Like, no one owns. Like, it's getting to the point where no one's going to own anything.
Less things to split up in the breakup. I mean, come on. Serious.
Exactly. I own the iTunes. So hey, we actually honored and privileged. We got some pretty awesome guests here. We have Mike Brennan from MyTechNews, mitechnews.com, and Matt Roush from the Engineering Society of Detroit. He's the director of communications, and good times. Appreciate you guys coming out, fighting the weather. All right. And you want to talk about long time? You guys have been in journalism in this town.
Back since when there were journalists,
right,
in this town.
When there was,
there was no town. Yeah. 20 years in this town, but 35 total. So.
Well, I started in the Pony Express.
Yeah,
ran the first Wells Fargo. Yeah, right. Well, no, they'll be doing the same thing with us.
You just have to deliver all my stories like this. See, yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all the ships at sea.
Well, no, in 10 years, we'll be on whoever's next show, whether it be a podcast or whatever. Like, these guys use dial-up. Same thing.
I love that sound. You remember that sound? Doom, ba-doom, boom, boom.
Right.
And then it was so cool. So.
Their phone's busy. Well, get off the AOL, you bumhole.
That's right. *86. ...
So, Mike, I know you're a regular on the Internet Advisor Show on WJR. We were with you in spirit a couple weeks ago. I know you joined by a phone, but what's going on with Michigan technology news these days and mitechnews.com?
Well, we're assembling a really nice cast of content partners, including you guys. We also have Matt, Engineering Society of Detroit. We just added Mobile Technology Association of Michigan. You just go Digital Divas. I'm looking at my card here. Where's my card here? It's got a QR code. Mishapreneur.com, yes. Again, we're a new service for our political coverage because that way I don't have to worry about that. And then, MI Tech 248 from Oakland County.
That's still going?
Still going. I'm not sure how much longer, but it's going.
Did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
The air, live?
Well, bureaucrats running that sort of thing. So, and then, of course, we're really moving into podcasts, and we could probably talk about, we're going to be working with you guys, Matt and I.
Yep.
After 20 years of being competitors, they're going to work together to create our own live internet radio show. Hey!
Slow clap.
And it's going to be part of the Bob and Dave's
Look at us,
network.
we're trendsetters.
Yes.
I wouldn't go that far. But if you don't recognize Matt, you wrote Glitter. You were pretty much, your email went to 15,000 people a day.
At its peak, it was well over 10,000. But I started covering tech news totally by accident. I was covering retailing for Cranes Detroit Business in the early 90s, and I started hearing about the internet and how every retailer in the country was going to go out of business, and we were, going to buy everything, absolutely everything online.
Right.
There weren't going to be stores anymore. There weren't going to be malls anymore. It did really disrupt, obviously, some industries. Try to find a record store. Try to find a bookstore.
Yeah.
So all these retailers were terrified, and I got fascinated by the idea that my computer could be hooked up to every single other computer in the world. I did not see the downside of that. I did not see the downside of that. There's a substantial downside to that.
Just a little.
So I started writing tech stories that were thinly disguised as retailing stories. Cranes finally gave up and created a Tech Writers Beat in 98, gave it to me. And then I started doing the IT report for WWJ in 2001, stayed there for 12 years. My gig now is with the Engineering Society of Detroit. I do have to do a tiny little plug for it. It's
You're allowed.
ESD.org, and it's a terrific professional organization for engineers and people in what we call allied technical fields, so scientists, researchers, that kind of thing. We cover everything from IT to the life sciences to hardcore mechanical engineering like metal benders. We have about 3,500 members, but I'm still also doing a tech news blog just because I want to, and that's techcentury.com or technologycentury.com. It's the blog version of the ESD magazine that comes out 4 times a year.
Nice.
So, Mike and I are still doing content, so we said, why don't we why don't we do a little show? Hey, kids, let's do a show. Well,
and we happen to know guys that have a studio.
Yeah.
And we hear they've got beer there.
Well, that's the beauty of podcasting. I mean, you drop a few grand into this thing, and pretty soon you can, you've got the same, potential as anybody else does. All you have to do is not suck. Well, we're going to work on that. But,
and the beauty of no FCC.
Yes,
that's
right,
the big.
exactly.
Absolutely. Drinking beer and swearing on the radio is awesome.
Well, how many? You can't take a radio show and then pause it and then pick it up on the ride home. It's just
right.
It's an easier way to consume.
Audio goodness.
Yeah, and me and Matt had a great conversation before the show. And Engineering Society Detroit, if anyone's I'm 42, right? I grew up when you were 8 years old in this town and you woke up before 6 o'clock in the morning. There was a show called Kid Bits, and it was pre Mr. Wizard, pre Bill Nye the Science Guy. He was the dude that did all the science experiments on a rot gut budget. It was the new dance show of science shows.
Science.
But so Gary Ed Mack, the guy that hosted it, I still remember this vividly.
Okay.
He's the president of the ESD right now?
No,
or?
he is our master of ceremonies for our annual dinner, which is Wednesday night at.
We got to get him on the show.
So, you really do, because he's really funny.
I can still sing the song of Kid Bits.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. It's still in my head.
Yeah.
It's.
He will be so thrilled to hear that.
You know why? You know why? Inside Out told you why.
Now, who knows?
Because that memory got stayed and everything. All the good stuff is gone.
Every now and then, just for kicks, that memory gets shot up to the top.
That's why I can sing the Great Space Coaster right now without even and everything else. What'd you eat yesterday for lunch? What's that guy's name on the podcast last week? Great Space Coaster, get on board. See, hate my life. So, So, have you guys come up with a name on the podcast? What are you guys going to be covering? What, launch date?
I mean, basically, what I've been doing over the years, and I think what Mike does a little bit too, is I call it tech-based economic development. I'm interested in how we can take these technologies, and yes, they're cool, and yes, they're fun, and we can all do things with them. But I'm interested in how you build an economy out of them, how you build jobs out of them. How we transition Detroit from sort of being the bicep of the auto industry to being the brain of the auto industry, and use that knowledge of being the brain of the auto industry to break into a whole bunch of other things, from medical devices to what have you. We know how to build stuff here. We have very talented engineers that know how to design stuff and design factories and get things built.
That we want to keep here.
Yes, well, that's the other thing. We tried having an economy where we all just sell hamburgers and insurance to each other, and it doesn't really work. We have to build stuff. Strong nations are built on manufacturing, and that interests me too, how we use tech in manufacturing.
I think a lot of it too, you read all the time about the skills gap and the manufacturing. Some jobs are still there, and it's it becomes a time and a point where how do we get how do we teach these kids, right? How do we get them to understand? Because it's not a sexy job. You come out of college, you don't want to manufacture things, even though it's a lifeblood of an economy. And I completely agree with you. It's got to be.
Manufacturing's really changed a lot. When I was working my way through college, I was working in one of those traditional manufacturing plants.
I was in a paper mill,
which is pretty lousy. It was not a fun job, and it was greasy and dirty and
the 3Ds: dirty, dark, dangerous.
Yeah, there you go. But
not that way anymore.
Manufacturing is.
I prefer the other triple
it's like almost going you got to wear a bunny suit, to go into the clean room. It's really changed a lot, and it's very high tech. much more so than it ever was when I was doing it. And one of the things we were really pushing is, well, it's now STEM or STEAM. It's
Right,
called
depending-
both
yep.
things, yeah. It was science,
Which, if it can be
technology.
steam, why can't it just be meats?
Yes, well, so we're really pushing that. Plus, the other thing, two other things we're pushing is entrepreneurs, because we're a big center of entrepreneurship in Michigan, and the new maker movement, which kind of brings it all together. 100 years ago, Detroit got started with the auto industry because we had a lot of tool and die shops here. And now we've got more engineers per capita in Michigan than any other state in the country, and actually almost more engineers than California, which has 4 times the population. So we have a lot of expertise here that's moving into the maker movement, which is creating some really fascinating stuff. So we're moving into that as well.
So, Matt, what's your take on the maker movement? Because I have a certain take, and I'm just curious if it coincides with, because I think it's going to change manufacturing altogether.
Between
This
that and what they call additive manufacturing, or more popularly 3D printing, you are going to be able. I firmly believe that everybody laughed when they said there'll be a computer in every house. Everybody laughed when they said there'd be a printer in every house. There's going to be a 3D printer in every house. And we're all going to.
And we will never go to IKEA for dishes ever again.
Design your own furniture.
We can all make our own plastic doodads,
Right.
And eventually we can make our own metal doodads, and then we can make our own. It's like
composite.
I'm not kidding you. It's a Star Trek replicator. It's just waiting to happen.
Have you guys been to
They
Maker
can make
Fair?
food.
It's like 30 days away. Maker Fair is
Yeah,
it started,
actually, I'm a sponsor of the Maker Fair this year, and so I've got 40 extra passes. So anybody out there needs any,
It's great. It started such a small thing, and then
they're
I was there
expecting
last year, and this thing is like it's the entire parking lot of the Henry Ford.
Yeah, they're expecting
People are parking
25,000 people this year. They
in the-
have over 400 makers.
The things that people are
400
creating.
makers are already signed
And,
up.
and,
so it's gonna
and
be
my
huge.
favorite thing about it is they do a mass model rocket launch too, and that was my favorite
Right.
hobby as a kid. I set a couple cornfields on fire that way. So
Well, they're putting houses up in 24 hours.
Yep.
The stuff that they're doing is we when we were at the auto show, they had that 3D printed car. I'm like, how cool
Yeah, they were
is
printing a
that?
car every 23 hours.
Well, they're
Okay.
selling a lot of 3D printers these days to dentists for dental implants
Wow.
for people who have serious oral injuries
Right.
and jaw injuries and stuff, and they can make you a new jaw.
Right now in
essentially.
Amsterdam, I believe they're printing a bridge using a 3D printer. So I mean, it's crazy. It's come from being a hobbyist thing to something that's going to revolutionize manufacturing.
So what's going to happen in Mexico, China when this goes full scale? Because I mean,
that's a very good question. Because we won't need cheap labor anymore because it
Right.
will all be done by the 3D printer.
Right.
We're going to have to figure out some way to make George Jetson jobs for ourselves, lifestyles. It's like the old Wizard of Oz song. We come in at noon and go to lunch till 1.
Right.
Take an hour for lunch, then at 2 we're done.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Well, I read. I mean, because it went to the creative economy. Probably in the late 90s, right? That was the big book.
Buzzword.
I just read. We're moving into the maker economy. We're not there yet. They said basically, and I kind of agree with them. We're 1978 PC, right at the infancy. It's not a big deal. Probably another 8 years until it becomes a household where they're going to start selling them at Staples.
Less than that, actually.
Right.
I think just a few years, 3 or 4.
There's
I
a
think
guy.
it's going to be big.
There's a guy way up north at Michigan Tech named Joshua Pierce, Pearce. Look into him. Follow him. He knows what's going on with 3D printing, and for him, it's a hobby. That's not even what kind of professor he is. He's just really into it. He has designed a 3D printer that can be made for like $400, plus the plastic feedstock that goes into it. You still have to buy the filament. It's like a thick fishing line. He's developed a machine that will chop up old milk jugs and turn it into the filament, so your raw material cost is essentially zero.
Wow.
Other than the electricity to
If you
heat it up
drink
enough
milk,
to melt
though,
it.
We
you
had-
gotta drink milk.
Well, you got to
right?
drink milk.
We had some guys in the studio.
In here, it would have to be Jack Daniels.
You can be a
bottle,
maker, but not if you're lactose intolerant. That's how that's going to work.
No, we had some guys in the studio probably 40 or 50 episodes ago, and they foresaw, and I kind of see it, is, when you get a house, you have your washer, dryer, your 3D printer, and there's a utility pipe that feeds with whatever composite resins and all that, feeds this, and you get paid by DTE or whoever's the, utility provider. And I'm like, it doesn't sound that far-fetched to me. I mean, just,
You got to be a little bit careful with the metals because you're generally melting the metals with a powerful laser, and there could be some off-gassing. You don't really want like heavy metal in your house.
Oh, I do. Slayer, AC/DC.
Not that kind of heavy metal.
Sorry. Your dryer has a vent going outside. Why not your 3D printer?
And not the 1980s animated movie with boobs either. Not that
First
heavy metal
cartoon
either.
boobs I ever saw.
Yeah, not that one either. Yeah, no.
Everything's got to go downhill every segment. Can't have one normal segment in the show.
That's why we can't have nice things.
All right.
Good. So find you, Mike, mitechnews.com.
Yep.
Mine
Matt?
is technologycentury.com or esd.org.
Century with a C, not
Yes.
like a gun.
Yeah,
All right.
technology's like
Just
this.
making sure.
We are in the technology century, yes. We
yes.
And then on Fridays, I publish a newsletter that has all my content partners in there, including you guys and him.
Yep.
So if folks want to sign up for the newsletter, we'll push it out to them, and they get the sample for the week.
Yes, he still does an email newsletter. There is still, I mean, a lot
Yes,
of people
there
still get
still
those.
is
A
an
lot
email.
of people still
Yes.
get those.
Shows up in my inbox. It does not go to spam.
Good.
Okay.
Well, and we've also got your content syndicated back on our site. We've got
Yes,
the news
yes.
tab. So we've got read, meet, listen,
Thank you
learn,
for
work,
that, yes.
news, and then we've got the little widget in the right rail that pulls in
Right.
the
Oh, that's
breaking
back?
news. Yeah.
Oh, I know it died
It's
for a
fixed
little
now.
bit. Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
We fixed-
But he said they're
yes.
working on their site again, so it'll be
Yeah,
dead
well-
next week.
Oh,
so.
boy.
Yeah, right. We're trying to make it more mobile friendly. I brought in a marketing guy, and he goes, "It's a nice site, but it's not mobile friendly." So
Squarespace.com, coupon code IT.
Yeah, so we're but within 30 days or so, we'll have all
It
that.
was.
I
It was
don't know
so.
how much Mike paid to have a guy figure that out.
It was so easy. It was so easy. Bob could do it. Bob built a website. I was floored.
What can I say?
So easy, Bob can do it. That's our new that's our new selling feature. So yeah, hey, appreciate you guys. I hope you can hang out. We'll get segment 4. We can have you back. But we're gonna come back in segment 3 with Sola from the Social Media Association of Michigan.
Cool
This
event
is the
Friday
IT and the D show, and we'll be back.
Cool event Friday night.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to IT and the D. All you nerds out there.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D show.
Welcome back, segment 3, episode 97. This is the IT in the D show. We're hanging out above Activate Gaming in the Trinet corporate offices in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. Can we still call it our brand spanking new studio because it still has a new car smell to me. This is Bob the Sales Guy hanging out with Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. Find us online, itinthed.com. Go to Facebook, like us, Twitter, follow, get our app, all that good stuff. Segment 3 is brought to you by Online Technologies, great cloud host provider, security, data center. They've been around for at least the 20 years I've been in this industry.
They were the first private ISP in Michigan, by the way.
They were the first, really?
The very first one.
Owned by Gary Baker.
Yeah, no, Gary was telling me stories about them. Yep. But if you want to check them out, they're a phenomenal company, growing like gangbusters. OnlineTech.com, and we appreciate the support. Yeah, they've been around. I sold them when Taylor Bond was the CEO in '97. I sold them a DS3 to Ann Arbor because we were the only point of presence near his data center. So yeah.
When I first started covering technology, people asked me who to talk to about the internet, how it worked, and everything, and they told me go to Online Technologies. Yep.
One of my customers was Emson, and every once in a while I get nostalgic and I start looking up old customers. They're still pushing dial-up in T1s. I'm like, are you kidding me? Unless they just never turned their website down and it's still live. But I'm like,
Pivot.
It could be a cobweb.
yeah, we're Pivot. I'll give you Pivot.
No, they're selling it. They must be selling it in the Western UP or something like that. I don't know.
Unless they still got customers. My cousin was still on a dial-up until, I swear, 4 years ago. And we're like, what? Your phone's busy? Like, who are you? What kind of people are you? Crying out loud.
I can't be related to you anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So I know you're entrenched in all the Twitters, Sola, but this is we'd like to introduce. We actually really happy you came out. This is your second time or third? I don't remember. Second,
yes.
And we have Sola Obayan from the Social Media Association of Michigan. And welcome back. Appreciate you coming out.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You like our new digs?
I love them. They're awesome.
You don't have to go up the freight elevator anymore.
No shenanigans.
Doesn't smell like a Cheech and Chong movie in here.
No more scary neighbors.
It's an improvement. It's an improvement.
Right. So you have been busy lately.
Yes, I have.
You are planning a monster event.
Yes, we are.
So talk to me about
It's
social.
going to be part of our complicated Friday.
I told her already our schedule. We'll talk about that later.
I've been briefed.
But talk to us. And you dropped a bomb today on Facebook. We need to talk about that too. With one of your guest appearances you're having. But talk to us about Social Media Day Detroit.
So yeah, Social Media Day Detroit is at Motor City Casino Hotel this Friday. It's the 6th year that it's being celebrated. It's really kind of it's a global celebration started by Mashable, and it's to celebrate the industry and how far we've come from MySpace and everything. You know,
hooray!
It's an opportunity.
I think I still have a MySpace page out there somewhere. Actually.
Still talking about
we all do.
Still talking about Friendster.
Keep that quiet.
Zanga.
Yeah, Friendster. Yeah.
I loved Friendster. I held out on Facebook because I like Friendster so much.
What LiveJournal?
Oh no, I never used that one.
God, I forgot about that.
But so yeah, it's really an opportunity for professionals to get away from behind the screens and into the same room, connecting with each other in real life.
So I mean, I looked at the lineup of like you have speakers going on.
Yes,
it
we
looked like
do.
a pretty rock star lineup. You remember any names of? Of course you do. Who are some of the people that are speaking at the event?
Well, the whole idea is we're going to begin the event with a VIP reception. There will be food and an open bar there.
It can't be that
Really?
VIP because we're invited to that. I'm
You guys are always
I'm just saying.
You get invited to everything.
I know.
But so the VIP reception, we're going to be having a discussion about technology's role in a resurging city, and how really technology can aid the transformation of Detroit that we're currently experiencing. So we have public sector leaders. We have Jill Ford. She's the City of Detroit's Innovation Entrepreneurship lead. We have Jay Cohen from Detroit Venture Partners.
Okay.
So we have several. We have we're going to have 10 different panelists that are going to they have direct experience and they're directly plugged into this transformation. So they'll be discussing how we can create solutions and what type of solutions specifically we can create now to kind of urge forward that transformation.
I would like to hear that because I want to know.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So I mean, over the course. So I mean, is it it's a 1 day thing? I mean, it
Yes,
starts
it
at
is.
5:30 p.m.
Yes.
and runs through.
The VIP reception is from 5:30 to 7 o'clock, and the main event it's an open event. It's open to the public. It's free. The only stipulation is that you have to be 21 or up. To
casino.
attend because it's the casino. So it's from 7 to 10 o'clock. That's
Okay.
the main event.
And what goes on at the main event? I mean, is it another series of speakers? Is it?
It is not. No, the main event is going to be very lively. There's going to be a lot of interaction going on. There's going to be tech brands on site. They're going to be directly engaging with the audience, with our attendees who are there. There'll be live performances, as
Cool.
Bob mentioned.
You turned Facebook upside down today with this one.
Why don't you tell me how exactly that happened, Bob?
The girl that sings "It's So Cold in the D" is
Yeah.
going to be performing live.
Yes, she is.
That's insane. I don't know how you pulled that one off. I would need to shake your hand for that one. It's like you're going down legendary.
It's a little bit of magic.
I was going to say, you're in legendary
Yeah,
status.
step one,
after-
find her.
Right.
Yeah, we're pumped to have her there. So she has 8 million, I think, and counting YouTube hits currently. And we
Did you
thought
know
she'd
that
be
she
really
got
great.
she blew up because of wasn't the latest Beavis and Butthead like 2.0?
Yeah.
And Mike Judge tried, like they ran with that song and no one knew it. It's kind of like Rob Zombie, how that's who discovered
Yeah.
her, was them guys ripping on this song. And then she's at like 8 million video views. It's insane though how like Beavis and Butthead launched like Rob Zombie, her.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, she recently released a new remix, actually, which is,
Auto-tuned?
you take-
As it should.
Did you get a chance to listen to that one?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She was on TMZ recently as well.
Really?
Yeah,
I
she
missed
was.
that.
So lots of visibility and attention being brought back to her brand currently. So she has new management, and it's going to be really interesting, and it's going to be a fun performance. This is the first time she's ever performing it live.
Really?
And apparently, she's a real introvert. She's kind of an extreme case of introvertedness. So it's wonderful that she's
So
come
it
to the
could
event for
Yeah,
possibly
this.
exactly. Hey, you're amongst friends. What's the worst thing that could happen, right?
Of course, yeah.
Leave
Hopefully more magic.
leave your cell phone videos at home. Again, at social
you
media.
know that'll never happen.
It's going to be Periscope 47 times side.
Right. It'll be Periscope, live stream,
on
YouTube.
Tosh.0 next week.
Yeah. It'll be exactly. It'll be the next Tosh.0 web redemption is what it'll be.
Google Hangouts will be like there's 17 rooms open for this.
So I mean, what else is going on? I mean, if it's a more what is should I be a social media professional planning on coming to this thing? Is it just random? I have a Twitter account and I want to come check this out. Like, who should be planning on showing up at this?
Really, anyone and everyone who's interested in digital, who's on social networks, anyone who's interested in engaging directly with local brands, local tech brands, anyone who's interested in awesome, fun giveaways, So we're really, a couple of the giveaways are some IT packages, education packages actually, that some of the participating brands will be giving away to attendees. So anyone who enjoys social, touches digital in any way, shape, or form, which is entirely the world.
So the last time we had you on, we talked about the event that you were doing up in Traverse City. Frankenmuth. And that was more geared towards not the beginners. That was, the folks that had a couple years in, that knew the basics, and were looking for that next level stuff. So, I mean, it sounds like this is maybe that first dip your toe in the water kind of thing that people can check out.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this is definitely much more of a party environment. Even the VIP reception itself is going to have a very fun, light, engaging quality to it. Okay. The Frankenmuth Conference was a highly educational, deep subject matter dive into social. So we had a conference going on, and then we also had 1 hour hands-on learning sessions. So this Friday, it's all about come out, have fun, engage with some of the local digital brands, maybe learn a thing or two about social, and then also kind of connect with other people, directly. In real life, it's important to bring people from behind the screens into one room, communicating directly, because that's where the deepest engagements are made.
So now, how do you think that's really going to play out in real life? Because, I mean, we've seen it so many times where we get, social media folks that show up at our events, and they sit there the entire time with their head down looking at their Twitter feed, and that's all they do.
What an amazing event.
Yeah.
Brought your eyes up.
How would you know? Yeah. No, but, I mean, we've had that happen. So, I mean, how do you kind of plan on counteracting that? I mean, that's a natural instinct for them.
Well, I don't necessarily think that there's anything to be counteracted. If that's how they choose to participate at the event, they're more than welcome to do that. It's an interesting thing when you work in social day to day. You really learn how to leverage your digital device, and it's kind of like an extension of your body. It's an extension of yourself. So even though they're not communicating face to face, and we always make fun of this as kind of like a running joke, this social media events is the only time where it's socially acceptable to be on your phone and having a conversation at the same time.
Right.
So it's just a culture thing, really.
Okay. So so it's Friday, 5:30 to 10.
Yes, 5:30 is the start of the VIP reception that runs till 7 o'clock.
Okay.
We're going to have some wonderful speakers there. Eddie Demage, who is the co-founder of Rocket Fiber.
Okay.
He's going to be on the panel as well. So that's the more.
Well, and we've got Mark in here next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a very intimate. It's a very intimate opportunity to connect directly with some of the people that are doing amazing things to move Detroit forward with technology, leveraging technology.
So you said the 7 to 10 part is free. People can just walk up and go.
Mm-hmm.
Do people need to buy tickets for the earlier VIP reception? How do they get their hands on those? Can they still?
Yes, they can. They can get their hands on them by going to SMAMi.org, which is the Social Media Association of Michigan's website. We're hosting this event on Friday at Motor City, and they can. The non-member VIP reception ticket is $55, and joining the association, they will be able to attend for $35.
Okay.
And again, there's an open bar. There will be Detroit-themed food, and there will be an opportunity to really connect with some of these really innovative individuals who are doing amazing things in the city.
Yeah, we saw the lineup. We're like, we cannot miss this.
Who are you most excited about?
I honestly just meeting. There's so many people we haven't met. They're like, oh my god, they should be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think almost everyone we're like, haven't met him, haven't met him, haven't met her. And, so for us, it's kind of like, we're introducing ourselves to the social media world too, because we kind of shunned away from it.
Okay.
We never really considered ourselves anything to do with social media, right? Even though we got 13,000 Twitterers, but
you guys
Twitter
are
followers,
all over the social landscape.
We scoff at it though, right?
Wow.
So like we never really felt like we belonged.
See, I've always defended
You
social
belong.
media people because there's so many people who will look at everybody on their phones or on a tablet or something like that in the room saying, "Oh, they're not communicating." Well, yeah, they are. They're just not communicating with anybody who's in the room right now.
Right. They are more important than you, right?
Or they could be. It's really interesting,
Well, there's other people in the room that are following them. That's the other thing.
They're communicating via digital device with someone who's in the same room as them, and that interaction can be more for them. More. It's a deeper connection for them. Connecting with these digital devices and catching someone's eye across the room and say, "Oh, you tweeted that. Oh, didn't you?"
Yeah.
So it's like it's just a running joke. It's a social media culture.
You were
thing.
e-busted.
We're taking crowd shots now at our events, and we're doing caption this, right? Because whoever's got a goofy look on their face, we're totally throwing them under the bus. So that's like our
Luckily,
new thing.
John's a good sport.
Right. So that's our new thing now. So I mean, yeah, it's funny you say that we're in the middle of it. Like, what is there a definition anymore? Is it just anybody that engages using, because I mean, you can't even call it social anymore because I think it's just a way of doing business, right?
Sure.
It's another avenue. It's just like when everyone went to websites, right? It's not business. It's just another extension of your business, right?
Well, what makes it really different is this two-way engagement that occurs, right? This two-way communication that occurs. Before, it's always been kind of mass media communications, one-way communication, right? So that in and of itself is a game changer, you know.
It gives everyone a voice.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that's not always a good thing. Case in point, this show.
This is true.
I'm just saying.
I'm a people person, damn it.
Exactly. I mean,
Yelp.
You know, again, it's to me. You know, I saw it when websites was the thing, and there was a couple guys that knew it and figured it out. No one knew what it was, and I think the same thing's going on right now. Is like you still have companies that don't have any idea how to engage, when to engage. You know,
and then you have Amazon customer service agents that are engaging with customers, pretending to be Thor,
That was
and just
awesome.
running with it, and they're outstanding and they're awesome.
And like the Taco Bell tweet, you know. But again, you know, if you spam Facebook, you're considered a clown. But if you do it to Twitter, it's acceptable. And if you do it to LinkedIn, I hate you. Right? There's these weird, like, for every platform you use, you can't if you do it too much, right?
Different
There's
rules.
Every one of them is different. Like we're still trying to figure out Twitter, but I could post every 30 seconds till the end of time, and no one's ever gonna go, God, I hate you.
Yeah.
Post 2 times on Facebook in a day, and they're like, oh my God, I hate you. Right, there's what? Like again, the lines. Like I'm glad that we get them, right? But a lot of people don't. And I think it's great to to try to help them. You know what I mean? Because again, if you own a small business, you need as much help as you can.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There's also for small business owners, that's a completely different beast. Different conversation. And there's no way to really juggle everything. And then you throw social in there, and it's then they're really kind of struggling to run their business and manage their communications simultaneously. But they need to. This is important. It's important for them to communicate through these digital platforms in order to reach their audience. But I want to go back to something that you did mention regarding businesses. How are large corporations anyway making these huge social media fails? How often do we hear about that on a regular basis, right? And I think it's important to really understand kind of best practices, of using these platforms, and that's what you mean by these different rules and guidelines for
Absolutely.
each. And it's important for every
Don't
organization.
post while emotional, right? Just wait, just breathe, and then
that should
go.
be standard.
Right. No, we have local CEOs, not going to name any names, not going to name any names at all. That
Name
like
them.
Not Dabs can.
that have a couple drinks.
Not Dabs can.
No, I don't.
They
don't run
anything.
sports teams.
No, it's Don. It's Don. It's
Don.
different. You
Don,
don't know
Don
him.
Gilbert. You've never heard of him.
No.
It's
But you'd think that if somebody within the corporation go, just give me your phone.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. I mean, even President Obama just got a Twitter account for the first time, right?
And it's awesome.
That's essentially why, yeah.
You know what? That's great. I don't want. It's good to push out, but I don't. I would hate to see the crap that comes back in.
Oh, we talked about that. The day
God.
he got the account, it took like 10 minutes.
There were like 50 people arrested within 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That, yeah.
Really?
Well, not.
It's the Secret Service Full Employment Act. That's right.
We need to get more in the e-enforcement security area. That's
Well, I think it's a good point because I think so many small businesses are like, I can just put my teenage kid on this and let them manage my social media presence.
Yeah.
When realizing that it is a real job, it requires real skill, and to properly engage people, it's not something your 16-year-old kid's going to do. So I think that's
Precisely.
really good stuff that you're
It's no different than buying a magazine ad. You're going to have your 16-year-old kid put crayon and then submit that to Cranes?
Would you your website or film your whatever?
Right.
Or,
Write your
Would
press
you let your
release,
16-year-old kid talk to your customers? That's what you're doing.
Right.
essentially. Bingo. Yeah.
So, Social Media Association of Michigan. So, you mentioned that there was a membership people could join. What does joining get them other than a cheaper ticket to the VIP reception?
That's an excellent question.
Because I assume it's something.
Yes, it's many things, actually. So joining the association will get them discounted entrance fees to our events. But in addition to that, we have a partnership with the Small Business Association of Michigan, and in which all of our members have all of their membership benefits as well. So any sort of special surprise and interesting events that we're doing, or exclusive initiatives that we're doing. For instance, we're launching a speakers bureau for social media professionals this year. So it's really, they'll be included in those sorts of offerings, in addition to SBAM's full membership offering.
Do you do any advisory? We get back to business. I mean, most of the businesses are still run by baby boomers. The millennials are coming up, but the baby boomers are still in charge, and they really don't have a clue as to how to do this. So do you have an advisory service that you can work with these folks?
Work directly with corporations to advise them.
Yeah.
Well, that's something that the professionals that are members can have. We've actually had outreach from companies, DT included, to contact our member base directly, or to have some of this advisory services that you mentioned. So what we do is this is private communication, but we do make that available to our members. But that's an excellent point that you bring up. I think that's a fantastic idea to have a public-facing advisory service for these corporations and some of these mid-sized businesses.
I'm sure they'd be willing to pay for it. I mean, if they're getting solid advice and it's helping them and they can see the ROI and all those acronyms, right?
Mm-hmm. Boom,
so
generator
they'd
right
be
there.
all over this because I hear this all the time.
But will it help them pivot?
People my age.
Also your pivot.
Right? People my age, you go, yeah, my kids get this social media stuff, but I don't have a clue, you know? And so I think it would be really helpful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, no, I thought I understood it too, but then when I saw that the Snowmageddon on Snapchat got more viewers than Sunday Night Football, mind blown. Like I'm like, where? Like I'm gone. I'm done. I'm officially throwing in my towel. I don't get social media anymore. It's dead to me. Like I don't. What's that thing that's going on right now that it's going to make people like me going? I gotta give up. Is there something going like Periscope? I still don't get.
Meerkat, Periscope. Yeah, so those are the most recently released platforms, right? And that's also it's a really interesting service, right? So video directly to your social channels and engagement within that too, right? So kind of another layer on the social media ecosystem.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything that you can't get, Bob. I think maybe you need to give yourself a little bit more credit.
Well, no, the fact that they're holding onto a thumb watching like a poorly shot video, and that gets more viewers than like Sunday Night Football, which is.
Do you know what the level of attention for? I mean, Snapchat's audience is primarily millennials, right? And it's probably
younger than millennials.
Skewing younger, right? What are they? Generation
Next, I
Z,
think it is.
Right?
They call them, don't they, or something like that.
They're those damn kids. That's what they are. That's exactly who they are.
Off my lawn.
Right, it's all the kids that need to stay off my lawn. That's exactly who it is.
Their attention span is like less than that of like a gnat, So it's like it's all about kind of like that boom, boom, very quick, dopamine hits. That's
kind of like Vine, things like that, right? 7 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah. So
my child.
Nothing against generation.
I let my child venture into the world of Vine, and she had like one person said this video is stupid, and she like deleted her account. I'm never going on the internet again. I'm like, you're gonna have to get used to it. You're gonna have to get used to it.
Let me show you Daddy's accounts and the stuff that he gets.
You think everybody likes my crap? No.
Let me show you Daddy's work email.
Mr. Dave had to go on the news because no one liked his crap. Yeah, no, it doesn't work like that.
Actually, bullying is a massive issue on social. Yeah.
What is it?
Bullying.
Oh, yeah.
Bowling, I swear to God.
Bowling.
Yeah, I thought you said bowling too.
Bowling hasn't been massive in
Maybe it is.
Really?
It is. It was like $4
Well, the shoes,
bullying
my
is,
God,
yeah.
they smell terrible. Okay. Sorry.
No, but I think like that's got to do with if you look at like I don't take anything like serious from Twitter that has a fake name and like a not a picture.
Animal as a profile,
right? As an animal, right? Whatever. It just that there's nothing good can come of this. Just like going on like
there are kids. I get what you're saying about the bullying, though. There are kids that are like all nerve endings. I mean, I remember what you were like when you were 14 or 15.
Absolutely,
this stuff really hurts.
But this has been this is a transition, though, right? So basically, when we were growing up, well, God, I just felt old.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, all of our friends
back in my day,
they were in
back in the 90s.
Yeah.
They were in the real space, right? They were in the meat space. We talked to them every day. If you said something mean, you had to say it to someone's face. Now,
in worst case scenario, you fought. One of you got your asses kicked, and then you went home sniffling and sniffing and crying. And when you got back to school the next day, you were back on the playground playing. That's the game over. Yeah. I mean, that's how it worked.
But now today,
once in a while, you got shut in a locker. Other than that, right? Yeah, okay.
Kids' entire social networks are now actually digital, right? They don't talk to each other. They don't go over to their houses.
No reset period.
That's the problem.
Getting away
they don't have
from
driver's licenses.
I'm not
no
going.
getting away
Yeah,
from
I'm
it.
not. I'm FaceTiming with Susie, and I'm playing Call of Duty with Jimmy, and neither I'm on my couch. Like that's
Well,
what
no, it's you when you were done with the fight by the bike racks. You went home, and you all went your separate ways.
3:15,
and you didn't see each other until the next day.
But now there's no
it's a
getting away from it.
24/7 onslaught
And
now.
that's how you interact with your friends. So if that's ruined for you, your friends are ruined.
Plus, it's so easy to call someone an asshole on the internet. So easy.
Yeah.
And then like two friends see it, then they say, "Oh yeah, you are an asshole," and then it's no, you're right. It's like,
damn it, Jimmy
I don't
likes
think-
that. He liked that update.
Our teachers or people, are they taking this by the horns and trying to like talk about it, or is this something that's being swept under the rug?
I think that teachers and parents
You know
are
what?
definitely.
Let's dive into that. Segment 4, because we are bouncing up against 10:30,
Okay.
and this is a
Sounds
topic that
bueno.
isn't going to end quickly.
No, it's
because
a good one.
I have thoughts,
But
and I know
we're going
you
to
have
solve
thoughts.
it in segment 4.
We are going to solve all of the world's problems in segment 4, or at least have a damn good time talking about
The
it.
Royal Rumble awaits segment 4. We're going to come back with Mike, Matt, and Nuri, me, and Dave, and Sola. This is the IT and the D show. We will be right back.
IT and the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hey guys, it's Time Hawk, Bruce Leroy from The Last Dragon. You're listening to the IT&D Show.
Do you know what your storage costs? We do, and that's why we're doing something about it. At Quantum, we think you're just paying too much. Period. We've been helping our customers protect their data since 1981 while reducing their total cost of ownership, often by as much as 40%. We believe your strategic data protection plan should take advantage of all available technology. Let's talk some more at 586-745-4DXI. That's 586-745-4394. Quantum. Established name, new ideas.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D show.
We're gonna get her on the show.
Welcome back, segment 4, episode 97, the June 22nd edition of the IT and the D show. We're hanging out above Activate Gaming in the Trinet corporate offices in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. As always, this is Bob the Sales Guy here with Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. Find us out online, itinthed.com. Segment 4 is brought to you by Pure Storage, Flash Array Storage. They are changing how everyone is redoing their data centers in the storage business. Find them online, purestorage.com. They're killing it. I had lunch with them on Friday. They're absolutely destroying the market, and there's nothing stopping them right now. It's fun times.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So look, I did. I was segment 4. I was looking forward to getting into the kitten that almost died because its idiot owners decided that it needed to be vegan. But we'll bypass that.
Kitten. Here's some broccoli.
Exactly. Yeah. I want to get back into this bullying thing online because this is the other side of it that I think doesn't come up in these conversations enough, to be honest with you. Where part of us growing up back in our day. You had to learn how to deal with it, and you had to learn how to either deflect it or counter it or find someone bigger to kick their ass, something. And so part of me wonders, are we really doing our kids a service by establishing all of these, posters all over the place about bullying free zones and making it almost a taboo topic to deal with, because when they get out of school, there's not going to be any posters to protect them from Jerry the Jackass in sales. It's going to be the real world, and they haven't learned. If they haven't learned how to deal with that situation on their own, how are they going to learn how to deal with it ever? And how does that translate into that whole online, like I said, that 24/7? It's a vicious cycle. I mean, this is why, my daughter, my daughter's 7, my son's 5. I'm paranoid about them getting more and more online because of this nonsense.
Yeah, that's the reason we need these anti-bullying posters, right? It's because social is so pervasive. It's everywhere. It's always on. And we do need to kind of raise heightened awareness, of how these channels are used in a negative manner, particularly with parents and with teachers. we were talking during break, actually, Bob and I, about what kind of measures are in place for his kids, and kind of how does he control that digital intake? How does he control the hose?
I see everything.
Exactly. But Dave, you bring up a great point. Instead of telling them to stop bullying, there's going to be assholes for the rest of your life. I deal with it as a grown man. I deal with it.
It's the same
my own age group.
It's the same conversation we have about, when you get out of school, not everybody gets a trophy for showing up. You're going to fail at things. There are going to be assholes you have to deal with in life. And I get it. You always want your kid to be safe and be protected and kind of have a bubble around them. But that's not how the real world works.
But I feel like online it's so much easier because escalation of that is all of a sudden you've got a SWAT team knocking down your door, right? You've got a SWAT team at your door. I mean, what happened?
What do you say to the young girl that made a bad decision and sent a Snapchat to someone that she shouldn't have sent, and now that's all over her Facebook.
It happened to our friend.
It's everywhere,
happened
right?
to a good friend of ours.
What do you say to her? So I think that's why we have this bullying, raising awareness of bullying, and that's why we have those communications, and that's why there are support groups, right?
You tell the girl don't ever do it again, and you tell the boy that shared it, I'm going to break your neck and your dad's neck and your mom's neck if you ever do that again. That's what you do. I'm just saying.
Some of this is sort of strikes me as like developing an immune system. You're not really doing the kid any favors if you raise them in a bubble where their immune system never has to. Now, I'm not saying you have to go all the way back to you got to cut and rub some dirt on it. You don't have to go all the way back that far.
But that worked.
People will hate you on the internet. Someone's going to hate you.
Failure is part of life. In fact, it's a bigger part of life than success.
Yeah, but there's bigger ways to fail now. That's the thing. Like the girl with the Snapchat picture. That kind of stuff never used to get around before.
Yeah.
I mean, not like it can now.
Before it was a Polaroid encyclopedia. Now.
Yeah.
If you go grab Jane Eyre out of the library, and between pages 1112 and 1113, you
might fall asleep. Okay.
It's not necessarily about raising your kids in a bubble. It's about just, parents specifically being more aware, of different ways that their kids could be attacked.
Right.
Bullying happens a lot all the time. It's always it's going to be part of human existence.
There was someone
unfortunately, but yeah,
that's just what it is. Yeah.
No, I think the one thing that's changed from when we were growing up is there's a girl in my daughter's class. Back when we were growing up, this person would have been tormented and would have got the shit beat out of them on a daily basis and got thrown in garbage cans. Now the girls are kind of adopted her, and they're making her feel included and welcome. And I think you never saw that when we grew up. We always you find the lowest thing or the susceptible child, and you beat the crap out of them, and you put them in a hole in the ground. And now I think they're building up and they're helping these kids, and I think that's I like to see. That's one thing I could say is a success for this generation, regardless of the bullying thing. Is that half the parents got tears in their eyes when she would walk up and she's going to have a hard time in life, and she was so happy to meet. Oh my God, are you Gretchen's parents? Oh, she's so nice, and because I stress it to my kid You do not, so help me God, you make sure that she's included.
Well, so that's doing parenting right. And that feeds into what I'm talking about. Case in point, I'll be honest, I wouldn't worry too much about Gretchen with, a Snapchat account. She's not that dumb. I know the talks you've had with her. I know the conversations you've had. She's enabled to make okay decisions. Yeah, you still want to keep an eye on her, because she's 10, but it is what it is. And I think that's part of it is you have the parents who don't understand the technology, don't take an interest in the technology, don't take an interest in what their kids are taking an interest in. And that's how you wind up with, kids in Colorado with, Glocks and, Click 9s and all that kind of crap in their room because the parents aren't paying attention to what their kids are doing.
The Glocks in my room for the record.
Or you wind up with kids killing themselves because they're complete. They feel like
they
their
think
lives,
there's no way out.
Yeah, they think their lives over.
I feel like
it's not, but it's
I feel like we need a new term. It's like a digital latchkey child. Whose parents basically says, here's Facebook, go crazy, I don't care. I don't understand it. It's basically like giving your kids a key to the house and say, I'm never going to be home. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of latchkey. It's, hey, I stocked the bar and I'm leaving for 6 weeks.
Best dad ever.
The difference is you drink half of it and you fill the rest with water, and it's like you never drank it at all.
You did that too?
Oh, absolutely.
We all
like
did
shit.
it.
And our parents all knew we did it.
Mad Dog 2020. You changed me forever.
Banana red.
Sorry, I go all the way back to Boone's Farm.
Good old Strawberry Hill. But no, I mean, so like that's the, like I said, so I mean that's the challenge. Like when I see, when I see stuff like that, I do. I mean, I have the same conversations with my daughter and my son that Bob's having with his kids, and it's I want them to do it, and I want them to do it right, but I don't want to be that hover parent. Like I don't want to be, the helicopter parent that basically sits over them 24/7 and tries to, monitor every little thing they do, because you have to let them. It's a horrible analogy. You have to
occasionally.
Yeah, you have to let them burn their hand on a stove every now and then.
Well,
no, don't do that.
They need to learn how to lose.
Like I told you, I let her. Like
With
she got
grace.
free reign on her Vine, right? And she doesn't know any different. She did a Vine with hey, I'm gonna go take a shower, and I'm got a towel on my towel on my head, and I look ridiculous, and I scream. And then someone made a comment drop I didn't know what the comment was, but she just said, "Are you kidding me? You delete that and get the hell off my." And I sat there and I'm like, "No more, nothing." You don't understand the stuff that's out. No more bathroom Vine, anything. They don't get it, and that's good that they don't get it. But it's they don't need to know now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
so innocent.
Yeah, because they're coming at it from an innocent viewpoint that they're trying to be funny, and how do you? And you don't want to be the one that rains on their parade and has
their
to
spirit forever.
But I mean, I've had that chat with my kids. I mean, because they'll start with YouTube and they're watching Yo Gabba Gabba or whatever videos, and 4 clicks later they're watching hentai somehow. And so I had to rip YouTube off that and put the YouTube Kids app on, and they're just the whole thing about my daughter. She's like, well, why don't you want me just going to Google and searching on stuff?
Oh no!
And I'm like,
oh no!
Exactly. I'm
Google chocolate chip cookies and look what I found.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Grandma made a great cream pie last week. I thought I learned how to make one. Yeah.
No, listen. At Father's Day camp, one of the dads was telling me at Father's Day picnic yesterday. One of the dads said, "My kid asked me what a blue waffle was." I'm like, 6-year-old child.
Oh my God!
Asked him what a blue 6. They're talking about that stuff at school.
It's an Eggo. It's an Eggo with blueberries,
coloring,
and that's all you need to know.
Blueberry Eggo.
But yes, I mean it was, and I'm like, and I had to have the whole, sweetie, look, there's 5% at most of the internet that I'm cool and comfortable with you being on. That other 95% is just stuff that's not for you yet. It's just you're not ready for it.
For anybody.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's that 20%.
Consumption
back to Germany.
Right.
Consumption Junction and Steak and Cheese.
Right.
Ruined me as a human. The internet is I won't even.
I'm not shocked by anything anymore.
Nothing. Zero.
Steak and cheese.
So
that was back in the day.
It's not about being a hover parent. It's about being a responsible and aware parent, And that's what these awareness campaigns do, these anti-bullying campaigns do. It raises the level of awareness amongst parents so they can be that responsible, clued-in parent, And it creates that culture of the kids helping one another, right?
Thank you so much for being the voice of reason here. That is really nice.
But think about
there's a whole bunch of bad jokes coming from over here.
No, but think about this. We're techies. We're sort of in the know. Imagine the parents that simply aren't. Right?
That was the point I was going to make is you've got this big digital gap or divide here where the parents don't really get this technology and the kids got it down cold.
That, I bet, is going to close, though, because you've got, millennials are starting to have kids now, right? Because millennials, is anybody born after 1980? Well, that's 25 now. And they're starting to have kids.
35,
right?
actually.
Well, and there will always be
35. Oh my God! Yeah,
well,
right.
hey, you know what, Matt? When I say 10 years ago, I'm talking about the 90s. Don't feel bad
so much.
But no, I mean but the thing though, Matt, is there will always be next.
Yeah.
Okay, so we figured out BBSs, and we figured out, how to, hack phones and all that fun stuff. Our kids are coming up in the age of, YouTube and all that other. There's going to be a next.
Well, as soon as parents started watching text messages, they all downloaded WhatsApp.
Right.
Just to get it,
Well, yeah, and they've all got, hide apps on their phone and all that kind of stuff.
And it is every parent's dream to live long enough to see your kids feel old. And I love seeing that about millennials now. The ones that are getting into their 30s and they're confused by some of this stuff.
I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome.
Every day, our chat with Jeremiah gets funnier and funnier to me.
Why?
Because we've had a running chat with Jeremiah from Daily Detroit for like the past 2 years, and it's like every day something happens. And something else clicks with him, and he's like, these damn kids, and he's like, and I know, and he's
he was the kid,
exactly, and he's like, he's like, you guys are totally corrupting me. We're like, no, we're just sitting here waiting for you to catch up, dude.
That first gray hair, okay.
But it is. I mean, it is. I mean, it's a very fine line to walk in it. But I mean, that's my point. Is that there will always be that next. Like okay, great. Yeah, millennials, they grew up with the technology, but they're not growing up with the technology that their kids are going to be growing up with. Like, I'm not going to lie. One of the things that scared the ever-living hell out of me at Penguicon that I did not understand why someone would do this, someone voluntarily had an RFID, in fact, multiple people did, had chips put in their skin. Like subdermal
Idiotas.
RFID chips in their skin.
Yeah, that was a mall from Dangerous Designs. Yeah, totally. Dangerous Things.
Oh.
That freaked me out. Like okay,
it used to be like the mark of the beast or something
right,
like that.
I mean,
unlock doors with it and unlock your phone with it. It doesn't mean that. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I the only one?
Well, they could already follow you anywhere, right?
Yeah.
But still.
Well, am I the only one that saw Demolition Man? Hi, eyeball recognition scan. Yeah.
Minority Report.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but it is. I mean, it's rough trying to balance that, and I mean, it's. I don't envy any of us.
Well, like I told you, I got Facebook friend requests from my buddies' kids that are my kids' age.
Yep.
And I'm like, no. Accepting. And then I'm like, okay, mutual friends, let's see. And it's all the moms from school. And I'm like, I know what you post. Stop that. Right. Mr. Bob likes to drink a lot. Great. That's all I need.
And he swears about football. And
oh, yeah, amongst other things, right. So we do, I know we're getting to the end of the show, but, my beautiful wife has been sitting here patiently this entire time because it's our anniversary today.
Yay.
And her most favorite anniversary she spent sitting in a podcast studio listening to us talk about stuff she has. She's in the medical. She has no idea what the hell we're saying.
Trying to be shy here. Get her to talk.
Right.
I've been making sure she's been drinking beers, though.
We're gonna go hit downtown Ferndale after, so the night is not lost. But yeah, it's been 13 wonderful years.
Blessed years. Wow.
Right. 3 children.
Do we want to tell the Poison concert story?
Oh,
we gotta have at least one good story.
About how to know that the Poison concert story is out there makes 13 years that much more impressive. It truly does.
300,000 people listened to the show last week. I don't know if I'm up for that yet. I do not know if I'm ready.
And all 300,000 would be mad if they don't hear a story.
Bob can only tell that story.
Next week, so.
No. I just put it this way. If she wasn't in the medical field, I don't think she'd be sitting here to tell the story today.
Oh, you can't just throw that out
or
there.
maybe you wouldn't be.
All right, so give us a good Bob story. Give us a good Bob story.
No, every story revolves around her being a saint.
A saint.
True. We've actually petitioned the Vatican on multiple occasions to try to get her. They're not going for it yet.
Yeah,
even after hearing.
I'm not telling the goddamn story. You want to hear it at the bar for the 50th time? Sure. There's no way this is going to be recorded. And I know what you do with recordings. No.
Anyone wants to hear the story, meet us up at, where are we going afterwards?
Let's go to One-Eyed Betty's.
Oh.
Okay.
Anyone want to join us?
It's on my way home.
Yeah, no.
What isn't? You live like a mile from here.
That's the only reason I show up.
No, but we've been blessed with 3 beautiful girls, and life is good.
Could be worse.
Then I hear stuff about, Matt's been married for 30, and my parents been married for 50. I'm like, teach me the ways of Obi-Wan. Teach me the ways.
Tell me how you kept your wife from killing you.
Right, precisely.
So actually, instead of a story, how about that? How about one really good marriage tip for everybody listening? I've only been married 3 years. I mean, what's going to keep me married for 13?
Bob has good marriage tips.
Oh, does he?
My advice to you is to start drinking heavily.
Yeah.
Yes, dear.
Talk to your mother. whenever anything comes up, go talk to your mother. That's it.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
My grandfather always said, he's like, that a man should always have the last word in every argument with his wife. And in fact, it should always be the last two words. And they should either be, I'm sorry, or yes, dear.
Well, that was my advice, is if by any chance you are actually right, apologize immediately.
No, the whole, honestly, I think, though, like, to be sincere for a minute, the whole, like, gender role thing and, like, I take out garbage, you clean, you cook, you clean, that stuff's all dead. Just take care of business.
Oh, yes.
Is that true?
My wife likes yard
I
work
take
better
out
than
the garbage.
Yeah.
You park in the garage, I park in the front.
I know.
If I parked in the garage, I'd take out the garbage.
No, we have a lot of good laughs.
No, we did. Kate did a thing for like Women Rising, and they're like, "Well, how do you guys manage?" And I go, "Well, I work out of the house, so I take the kids to school and pick them up when I can, and I travel for work, and then we figure something out with the kids." And I go, "She's at the hospital or whatever, stuck, She goes, "Well, doesn't his?" And then Bob has does this stuff, and he goes, "Well, doesn't his job take priority?" I'm like, "No." And she was trying to steer me to say like I take like no, we do everything's
grog job more important.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm not a damn caveman. They're like, well, then they ask her, and she's like, no, we just balance, just make stuff work. It's whatever everybody's different. Everybody's got different schedules. Just make it work. So
totally awesome.
On that note,
first serious stuff. All right, well, hey, once around the room, we'll get the hell out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. Sola, how do we find you?
You can find me on any social network out there. Solabayan, S-O-L-A, last name O-B-A-Y-A-N. I would love to connect. Social Media Association of Michigan. Our website is smami.org.
SMAMi. Can I do that for you? Like, you do a podcast or something?
Never ever make that. No.
SMAMi.
No, that's you're like one step away from. I know, but you're one step away from Al Jolson blackface. Stop it. Just don't.
I did not even know that.
Just stop.
I'm just thinking of Bugs Bunny. I don't know.
Stop right now.
Jeez, Dave.
Just stop.
Wasn't that Marmary? I don't know.
That's exactly.
That Al Jolson. I don't know what you. I got that from Bugs Bunny. Kiss my ass. Matt Cotton, we've had a comedian in the studio this whole time, hasn't said a word. At least say. You got funny YouTube videos?
Something funny.
Yeah, tell us a joke, Matt.
Oh, so I guess my favorite joke that no one ever laughs at. Why is it when people walk their dog, they always carry a bag of shit with them?
Why, Matt?
Actually, that's really good.
Okay.
So, all right, Mike, where do we find Michigan Tech News?
Oh, right there, mitechnews.com. And, you can find out what all my partners are doing. We have them all listed there, and we'll give it to you in audio, soon video. We got video coming, but more on that later.
Cool. All right, Matt, where do we find you?
It is esd.org for the Engineering Society of Detroit, techcentury.com, technologycentury.com, and I am on the Twitters at Matt Roush, R-O-U-S-H.
All right, and we'll have all of our stuff as usual. We're out at itandthed.com. Find us at facebook.com/itandthed or at itandthed. Why? Because as always, we are IT and the D,
and you
still are not. So yeah,
sadly. So you know the rules. Drink your drinks. Get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. It's been another installation of the IT and the D show. We will see you next week. Beat it.
See you.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Long live Flash! You've saved your ass. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy. Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. It's game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing! You just don't turn it off!
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so...
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth, Ruth.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in a can.
就on the cheese.
Beer me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right.
Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up.
Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city.
I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D Show.